Hello, everybody. We are here. It is Super Bowl number 4. The long anticipated season is nearly over, but of course, there is only 2 teams left standing. And, well, we'll talk about the teams and talk about the conference games and everything that possibly could happen in this epic Super Bowl matchup. But I have 2 guests with me today. Of course, it was obvious I was going to bring Wobbegong back. Wobbegong, welcome back to the show. I won't talk about your nerves or expectations because we've conference games to talk about, but good to have you back.
Yeah, thanks. Really nervous for today's game. I think the Saints are an awesome team. We talked about them a lot during the season. It will be a fun Super Bowl. Very exciting to be part of this.
Absolutely. I'm sure you're going to be a nervous wreck as we go through this, but that's fine. That's expected. And of course, we have a second guest today, and we are truly honoured in the fact that we have managed to entice the Commissioner Rasp to attend this show and talk a little bit about the league and the games. And he's also in the back sorting out everything else that's going on the screen in front of us. Rasp, how do you think the season's gone?
Well, I think the season's gone great. I think the teams that got to the Super Bowl deserved it, and I think we should be seeing a really good matchup between these two offensive dominating teams. So I'm looking forward to it, and thanks for having me. Totally enjoy you guys' podcast. Tune in every time.
That's great. We've got one listener. That's a record for us in the RFL this season. So let's talk a little bit about the conference championship games because they did happen between our last episode and the Super Bowl. We just didn't have time, unfortunately, to commit to talk about them in any detail. But let's jump ourselves over to the NFC Championship game, which was a really interesting one. And of course, Rasp, I'm going to go straight to you with this one. The Vikings looked like they had the match of the Saints in the first half, but it kind of got away from them in the third and fourth quarter. How do you feel the game played out, and what's your reaction in terms of coming so close but yet so far to that Super Bowl?
Well, it's totally frustrating. 0-3 in conference championship games, but I thought New Orleans was the better team. I was expecting that they were probably going to come out ahead. Last time we played, we actually came pretty close, and Minnesota probably should have taken that win, but we didn't. And it was a scary game watching it. And then they ran away from us at the end of the I guess the middle of the third quarter. But they deserved it. So congratulations, Big Gorilla.
Yeah, before I bring you in, Wobbegong, it's worth saying that the Saints of Fuller has been absolutely exceptional for them this playoffs, and he was again in this one. He went 28 of 34, 82%, 9.6 average on his yards. It was exceptional performance once again. But Wobbegong, how do you feel from looking at it from Minnesota's perspective, coming close, but yet 0-3 for Rasp himself, and nearly had this one until the second half, and the Saints kind of stepped up and showed their true elite capability.
Yeah, it's tough. We talked about the divisional games and true awesome performance by the Minnesota Vikings to beat the Dallas Cowboys in a defensive game. And here, the key to win was to play incredible defense again. But yeah, as you said, in the end, Steve Fuller plays awesome. He played awesome through the regular season. And also when you look at the postseason, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 88.5 completion percentage. That's just out of this world. And I think he's the key factor for the Saints. Of course, has great weapons, but he plays mistake-free, and that's what the Saints helped them to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Just a little bit better. Also, looking at the passing game, that was maybe the main factor in this game. Nearly double the amount of yards in passing game. Great yards per attempt, as you said. So the Saints look really, really good. Led by free agency acquisition John Jefferson in this game with 105 yards and 1 touchdown. He's really the X factor for the Saints. So a great game by them. Close one, but yeah, maybe we will see the Minnesota Vikings making a deep playoff run next year. I had the feeling that Vikings-Bengals was the Super Bowl that everyone wanted, but now we're talking about Saints-Bills.
Yeah. So one other thing I wanted to add to it is one of the things is I often do the game of the week articles and things to that effect. So we're looking at various things, and one of the things, the Saints always get dissed on their defense, but the Minnesota Vikings offense is like number 3 or 4 in the league, and Wade Wilson has a 71% passing rating, and if you calculate or remove out number of sack yards, actually Wade Wilson is one of the top 1 or 2 passers from that perspective. And to be able to come in here, both games, they totally shut Wilson down with a 51%, only keeping him down to 184. So I think, Coach Drury mentioned that the New Orleans Saints is sneaky good, and I think their defense is the sneaky part. Their offense is out there in the public, but I think their defense can really surprise you. And if they step up and do the turnovers and things, then Bills is going to have a tough day.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the Super Bowl matchup in a little bit. I think let's jump ourselves over to the other conference game, which was in the AFC. The Bengals against the Bills. Obviously, the Bills essentially had too much, I think, in the tank for this one, even with some of the injuries that they are carrying and still carrying. It kind of looked like it was running away from the Bengals until, they never really kind of got close in this one. But it's worth mentioning, I think, when we look at the Bengals have had a phenomenal season, and they had a really, really good result against the Raiders. Looked like they were showing a really good performance. So maybe this just was just one step too far for this team this year. But I mean, Wobbegong, in terms of the Bills' performance, you've got to be happy with how Stout progressed and how your defense continued to play exceptional despite Gastineau's injury.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Stout played really, really good. Mistake-free, again, is the keyword here. And I think that's what I'm hoping to get from him in the Super Bowl. He will never be the best quarterback in the league or something like that, but he needs to be Mr. Reliable without any key mistakes and just throwing the ball when necessary. The key factor on offense was Tony Nathan, running back with over 100 yards and a 5.2 average. And I think having a balanced rushing and passing attack is what makes this offense so great. And also nice to see that in the receiving game, Mark Duper stepped up and had a great game, struggled a lot, sometimes during the season, not that many touchdowns, but reliable on yards. And hopefully he can deliver again today and also maybe give a little bit more space to Art Monk, the other wide receiver, or our great tight end, Ozzie Newsome. Really happy with the offense, but yeah, as you said, the key is the defense, even without my star edge rusher Gastineau. It is the rookie Greg Townsend who stepped up, 87 overall, 21st pick of last year's draft. And I mean, he plays in an incredible rookie season. He had 21 sacks over the season. And when you look at postseason, adding here 3 sacks in this game was definitely a key factor. And he needs to be edge rush force #1 in the Super Bowl. And together with the second rookie, Reggie Camp, he will be the second edge rusher for this game. So hopefully they can step up again. D-line, I think, is key. But other than that, passing attack needs to deliver as well, and hopefully force some mistakes to Fuller. But yeah, in this game, awesome lockdown defense, could get to the quarterback and deflect some passes. So couldn't be happier with this performance.
Yeah, I mean, I think from the Bengals' perspective, if I had to put it down to a couple of things, it was turnovers and inability to kind of keep hold of the ball and general discipline. I mean, the amount of penalties they had in yardage and combined with those fumbles and losses probably was enough to just completely edge it for you guys on the Bills' perspective. But Rasp, your attention, I mean, you obviously sit in the NFC. How did you see the AFC game playing out? Did you expect it to be closer, or did you expect the Bills to kind of run away with this one?
Well, I think the Bills hit their stride in the second half of the season, and when they played the Patriots in the divisional conference championship, I think they made a statement, and I think that Buffalo is going to be a team to try to reckon with. So I was expecting a high score from Buffalo, and I think actually I think Cincinnati's defense kept them good and reeled in. Buffalo is a talented team, so it was hard for them to overcome that.
Yeah, I think it probably was, and yeah, I mean it's set up an enticing matchup for the Super Bowl though. Bills against the Saints. I mean, something we probably would have been really looking forward to at the beginning of the season. So it's fantastic we're going to kind of see this play out in a moment. But just before we come and look at the matchup and look at what the key things are to that, let's just tie our minds back to the divisional championships and just give a bit of a shout out to the Patriots, the Cowboys, and of course the Raiders and the Cardinals, who also had phenomenal seasons. All came up a little bit short in the end for a variety of different reasons. But just a shout out to those GMs for really making it interesting. I mean, there was some really close games in that divisional. I'm looking at you, Vikings and Cowboys, for that one in particular. But they all had phenomenal seasons. I'm sure they'll be looking to get back into sort of contention next year. But let's turn our minds over to the Super Bowl itself. We have the New Orleans Saints against the Buffalo Bills. We have the defending champions up against a previous championship winner in this one. And, well, I mean, I'll go to you, Rasp, to begin with. I mean, we can't really take much away from this regular season game that they had because of the nature of the Saints benching everyone and the Bills playing full strength by accident. Kind of meant that it was a bit of a dominant performance from the Bills. But what would you be looking out for from the Saints perspective to try and beat this Bills side that has really could be looking at dynasty if they win this one?
I think the Saints are going to need to do ball control the clock. And I think they have the right quarterback in Fuller to be able to control the game from that. Then I think where the mismatch is going to be is against, again, the defense versus the offense perspective of the rankings, and you can see them here on the screen as far as the yards and whatnot. But I believe that the New Orleans Saints plays more of a break but don't, or bend but don't break kind of mentality. I think Buffalo shares that as well. I think turnovers is going to be huge for the Saints defense. It's going to be turnovers who's going to win this game, I think. But on the other side, the Bills, I believe, has the best turnover ratio, meaning they haven't turned the ball over a lot. So that's going to be interesting to see that, a team that their defense capitalizes on the turnovers versus a team that doesn't make turnovers. That's going to be it. But it could also be just a total shootout between both of these teams going back and forth over the course of the fields. Again, the Buffalo's pass defense, they have a huge sack ratio, but they're also going against a top passing offense as well. So it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, and of course, Wobbegong, you had to game plan for this. So give us a bit of insight into your thinking of the Saints and maybe where their strengths and weaknesses lie that you're looking to exploit or to limit as much as possible. Yeah,
first of all, I want to emphasize that no one should care about the Week 15 game. I arrested Tony Nathan and I guess one or two other players, but on my defense, everyone played, and also my quarterback, because I thought I still have the chance to get the most touchdowns by a quarterback this year. Didn't happen in the end, but yeah, I was still on pace to hopefully achieve one or two records. Didn't happen, but yeah, that was not a game that I looked at for game planning to prepare for this game. And yeah, I think the key factor is to hopefully.
So, I think you could also say that you were psychologically, trying to put one up on the Saints early. If we look at it now, trying to put up a nice high score and get Figueroa absolutely worried about you. That's what I'm taking away from that. So
let's leave it like
aside,
that.
Let's see. I think you thought once get one over the Saints to throw them off guard a little bit.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, in the end, I think Steve Fuller will play way better than their backup quarterback in this game, and I think it's very important to force some turnovers, and I think this is the key factor for the Bills today. Create one or two turnovers and playing mistake-free offense. I think the Saints played better this season. Maybe the Bills have the championship experience from last year, as the news article said, but the Saints have been the Super Bowl winner 2 years ago. So it's really both teams with lots of experience, and will be very interesting to see. In my opinion, I think it's a 50-50 game. Both teams played really good offense. And as you said, it could be a shootout. Could also be that both defenses step up. It's really hard to predict this game. And that's why I struggled with in the game plan. So let's see if it worked out, and we can get a great Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before I give some of my thoughts and insights to maybe what each team needs to do, we did reach out to V Gorilla before the Super Bowl just to get his views, because obviously we don't want to be biased. We want to have both GMs to have an ability to say what they think and give their opinions and everything. So thank you very much, V Gorilla, for dropping us a line in terms of what you think. So here's what he has to say for everyone and the audience and you guys. So he said, "It's been an amazing season for the Saints, and it seems like our motto for the year has been overcoming adversity. A seemingly never-ending string of injuries has left us without key pieces of our team on numerous occasions. Hugh Green and Nolan Cromwell have been pillars of the defense for years, and it's crazy to think there were only one regular season game in '83 where they're on the field together, which is crazy when you think about it in terms of how important they are to that defense. Offensively, Roy Green and Todd Christensen, two men who rarely ever miss games, have both been sidelined with wrist injuries. But despite all that, the boys in the black and gold have made it all the way to Super Bowl for the second time, relying on the old sports adage, next man up." I wish, is from VG, he said, "I wish Wobbegong good luck, but I don't think he really needs it." I mean, being Super Bowl champion last year, it's hard to say that. Certainly, I agree with that. It's easy for VG to remember just a few weeks ago that his Bills put 55 points up against us. Granted that it was essentially his starters against my backups, but giving up that many points in the situation is painful. Wobb is no stranger to injuries, as Buffalo have missed two of their highest rated players, Claiborne and Gastineau, in the biggest games of the season. I'm hoping there'll be the advantage that we need to stay in the hunt. Looks forward to a great game and hoping that the Lombardi Trophy will be heading back to Bourbon Street once again. Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting talking point that V Grid has added in there, is that both of these teams have had some and still have some really challenging injuries to overcome. And the fact that they've still had those injuries and ended up on the last game of the season in the Super Bowl, I mean, it's just something that I think most GMs dream of, really, isn't it, Rasp? Is that you have so much depth that you can still be one of the top two teams in the league, with some of these big names sitting out.
Yes, indeed. Both teams have managed their rosters very well, and they know how to identify the rosters as well. So it says a lot about those teams.
Yeah, I think so. And just to give you my final thoughts before we obviously go into the game. I mean, I think you guys have kind of hit it on the head, really. In terms of this, it could end up being a shootout. I don't think it will be, though, because I think, as you said, Rasp and Bob, you alluded to, both teams are sneaky good at defense for a variety of different reasons, be it turnover ratings or be it just general ability to get to the quarterback, cause hurries and cause sacks. Means I think this is going to be quite a tight one. Me personally, I think that the battle at quarterback, Fuller against Stout, is going to be the deciding factor. I think Fuller will have the edge there, though, which is something I probably wouldn't have said at the start of the season, but he has just been absolutely lights out this year. And I think that might give the edge to the Saints, if I'm being honest. But, we'll see what happens. I think that, combined with Gus now being out, I know that the Bills managed to avoid that against the Bengals in the conference game. But I think that might just be enough to edge it to the Saints. But I'm fully expecting this to be similar to the game line here, which is, 3.5 in it in terms of points. So before we go to the Super Bowl, we watch it. Of course, Wobbegong, I know who you expect to win. I don't need to ask you about that. We all know you're going for the Bills. I'm going to ask you, are you nervous?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You can bet. Will be a great game. Looking forward to that, of course. Nice to have one Super Bowl ring last year. That takes the pressure a little bit off, but still, I want to get a second one and hopefully build a dynasty, as you said earlier. So, yeah, I'm very nervous.
Yeah, I mean, Rasp, we'd love to be in that position and have a ring as well, but we're not, of course. How do you see this one? If you had to put your Your money on the line. Commissioner aside, Saints or Bills, who do you have for this one?
Man, they I can't. It's going to be a close one to be able to answer. I would say if the Bills play like they played against the Patriots, with the Patriots, in my opinion, being probably one of the best teams in the RFL. If they play the way that they played against them, that I think the Bills will take it. But I'm not writing off New Orleans by any means. They have a way of doing great game planning and coming up with some things that you don't prepare for. I know from experience.
I love it. I ask you a defining question. You sit on the fence as a true commissioner. I'm not going to push you any further on that one. I'm going to say the Saints. I think they, as I said, for the reasons, I think Fuller will just be a little bit too much for this Bills defense, but I think it's going to be tight. But we are here. It's Super Bowl number 4. Buffalo Bills against the New Orleans Saints. Let's see who comes out on top.
All right. We don't want to sim the game. We want to play the game.
I think sim the game and then watch the game is the option to choose.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So you want me to play the sim the game first?
And then watch it, yeah. Otherwise, I think it might do some funky stuff with the picking plays and stuff if you're in.
All right. So we'll do sim the game. Close your eyes, everybody who's watching this, if you don't want to see the scores, just in case. Shouldn't have it. All right. So we're not going to show the game. Now we're going to watch the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
And yeah, best of luck, Wobbegong, and best of luck, V Gorilla.
All right, here we go. With the kickoff. All right, Saints got the ball.
A good start for the Saints there with the kickoff.
Now, Saints always start off very strong on their first drive, I've noticed. So I'm expecting to see an easy movement down the field.
And there we have the quick passing game, mistake-free, no chance for the defense. Already the first down for New Orleans at the 50-yard line.
And I hear the referees in New Orleans are a little bit on the questionable side, so I think we'll see some penalties going New Orleans' way.
But immediately, the Bills putting pressure straight away in the second play. So that's kind of what we're expecting. We're expecting whether the Saints can get out quickly before the pressure comes.
Incomplete. Yeah, Robinson, key linebacker for the Bills, was able to get the ball here. And then a rush and an important third down stop. So it will be interesting to see if the Saints go for that.
And they choose to punt. No return.
And first touch by the Bills. Great rush.
Oh. Now, Cromwell is having a heck of a year. He's with 4 interceptions for the year. I think he has a touchdown return of one of those and a few forced fumbles. I expect to see. He's also one of the top tackling free safeties, who's also leading right now with the tackles on the Saints.
Yeah, incredible
really interesting.
Player.
Yeah, I was going to say, really interesting that the Bills came out quite strong with the rush game to begin with to try and see if they can open something up.
Ozzie Newsom, I guess he is looking good past that. Oh, never mind. He wasn't injured. I was thinking Christensen. Sorry.
He was injured during the season, but hopefully, or thankfully, good to go for the playoffs.
Now, Ozzie Newsom is the leading receiving touchdown maker out of all players.
Important weapon for Stout, especially with some receivers out during the year. Tight ends is always great, and pressure, and we get the first sack of the game.
That could be a critical
breakdown there.
So 3rd and 15.
I'll give it to Nathan. Oh, just short.
What brings them into to see where the Bills go for it now.
Let's see what my coaches decide. But yeah, they go for 3 points. Luckhurst should be reliable. And he is. First 3 points of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be important to get points on the game and not to give them up for trying to get those easy first downs. So that was a good call from the coach, in my opinion.
But yeah, great first drive by the Bills. Rushing attack looks really good with the 1-2 punch of Nathan and Hawkins. Will be interesting to see how the Saints can answer that and if they can get a few passes to answer right back and score their first points.
And having a bit of just the pressure the Bills are putting on Fuller early on is whether they can keep this up.
Future Lawrence Taylor, who was selected number 2, right? Not number 1.
First overall. A few years back, Mike Singletary was second overall, and we all know that VG wants to trade for him. So if you listen to that, Giants owner, trade it to me or just keep him. So Mike Singletary, awesome second overall pick after LT. But LT has been very important for me last season and also this one. So I'm happy with selecting him over Singletary.
Nice run.
Second rush here for Frank Hawkins, who has been injured for 1 or 2 playoff games. And nice to see that he's back here.
Good defense from Hugh Green. Stopping him, forcing a third down. Oh, did he stop him? Let's see. Yes, he did. That was a great D on New Orleans.
So far, it's looking like it is a low-scoring, high defensive game at the moment.
Oh, what a punt by Horan, third-round pick, and that's why you draft punters. Just kidding, of course, but in this league, it usually makes sense to get a good kicker or punter, especially in the later rounds.
Yeah. Nice pass.
Great pass.
Jefferson.
That combination of Jefferson Fuller has been exceptional this year.
Yeah, it's a scary combo. That was frustrating to watch when you're playing against them.
Yeah, I bet.
Jerry Robinson, another key tackle for him. So rushing game, not that good so far, but the passing game looks really, really good by the Saints.
Yep. Another one to Jefferson for a first down. Bills holding strong against the run game so far.
Or drop pass, you don't see that often, but important for the Bills defense.
That was a 4th and 2. Oh, they're going to go for it.
Oh,
great
play. They needed that. The Saints needed to get that ball movement
that was a great
second half.
Yeah, their passing attack looks really, really good. And if they can also get the running game rolling, it will be a long, long day for the Bills defense.
Penalty.
Oh, Saints penalty.
Oh, rare call from the Saints.
Yeah, I think you're right, Wobbegong. That passing game seems to just be exploiting at will at the minute.
3rd and 5. First down.
Looks like a new first down.
And he's been so far. Fuller's been hitting all of the wide receivers. I'm not sure if they hit the a tight end yet.
That's already the end of the first quarter. So 3-0, but I expect the next points to go on the board very, very soon.
I think that was the longest run of the game for the Saints. 2nd and 3. That should be a first down.
Yeah, they continuously get 2 or 3 yards here
not
on
a
the
first
rushing
down yet.
game.
And touchdown to the Saints.
Again, great pass
Green.
to Roy Green. No chance for the Bills defense here on this play. Great drive by the Saints. And yeah, short passing game looks really, really good for them so far.
It's been really balanced as well. Every single receiver is getting touches and doing positive yards with the touches at the moment.
All right, let's see if the Bills can fire back. Got a good return. Great run by Nathan.
Hawkins should be just shy of the first down.
That's what it looks like. So it should be, oh no, we got it.
And the first tackle for loss for the Saints, important for them to get a stop on the rushing game. But Bills shouldn't get nervous and hopefully play their game, maybe a deep shot. And there goes another penalty.
2nd and 11.
Holding by Buffalo.
Yeah, the center with key penalty, 2nd and 21 is, of course, a lot.
Oh, there is a
big
wide
play.
open.
And Mark Duper, the deep threat who got traded by the Minnesota Vikings before the season with a very, very important first down for the Buffalo Bills.
Just throwing that win in there, the Vikings one, of course.
I know,
no, they got another good wide receiver. I think it was a fair trade, so just wanted to shout him out.
That is a really big play by the Bills there. That kept them alive and means they might get some points back on the board before the end of the half.
2nd and 10, hand up to Nathan. Nathan gets the first down. He keeps going.
Yeah, it's been really interesting because it's been the rushing game against the passing game so far.
Hawkins and everyone who listens and wants to get a sneaky good tip, Hawkins is going to be a free agent. So if you're looking for a good running back 2 option, don't offer on him. I want to sign him back.
Oh,
that was close. Very close.
Great tackle by Jill Bird. And
looks like Hugh Green was injured on the play as well.
2nd and 1. Who's it going to?
I expect the run, and it's Tony Nathan with the touchdown. Very important to get back here on the scoreboard and answer right back. Great drive by the Bills, and the rushing attack looks really, really strong so far.
Absolutely. Nathan already has 50 yards in his rushing game, so really, really putting the thorn in the Saints' defensive armory at the minute.
All right, so the Saints' time to flip the score. Early penalty.
Another illegal formation.
It's a 2nd illegal formation and back.
Very important for the Bills defense to get now to the quarterback to get some pressure, and that's my free safety. Second round pick in the very first round.
Second sack. Oh, not going to be.
There's the rookie Greg Townsend.
But I mean, that was a really, really good set of defensive plays by the Bills. Pressure was excellent.
30.
We've already seen a completion.
Oh, he's got
He's
time.
got it. First down. He's fast.
Wow, 2 teams with an incredible
Roy Green.
Wow, that was a great play.
Big time play there. Big time play there by Fuller and Green.
Tough for the defense after 2 great stops to eat that, and then also another big play.
Still going.
So Buffalo pass defense needs to wake up. Of course, it doesn't help that the best cornerback, Claiborne, is out for the year, but they have to defend that better in the secondary.
Back to Jefferson. All right, can they hold them to a
red zone passing attack? Another completion, but again, important tackle by Jerry Robinson, not allowing any yards after the catch, but
second and third.
that is a touchdown.
Touchdown to Jefferson. Wow. Didn't slow down at all on that one.
That was a very, very quick offensive set there by the Saints. Pegging the Bills straight back there.
This is the fourth change of scores.
So
2
just
minutes
2:40 left on the clock.
Yeah, so needs to be not only running for the Buffalo Bills if they want to score before the halftime. But they start running the ball, so Frank
you
Hawkins.
got to have the other team respect the run. And they still have 3 timeouts and a 2-minute clock.
Oh, another penalty. Could be holding. And it's unnecessary roughness by a Buffalo wide receiver. That is definitely not helping.
Good defense on the rush. I guess the Bills are settling to try to run the clock down.
Yeah, they have to punt here. And the chance for the Saints to get to a 2-score game right before the half.
Short punt by Buffalo. Saints has another possession. They're close to being in field goal range. They choose to run it. Good D by Taylor. Second and 10. Saints are best run of the day for the Saints when they need it. And they're definitely inside field goal range now with the minute 1 on the clock. You choose to keep it on the ground to continue to run that clock down.
Now the rushing game seems to work as well. So the Saints offense starts to roll here.
They're going to sneak in a pass here. First down from the Saints. Saints had 2 timeouts. .39 seconds left on the clock. Oh, wow. They are another 10-yard run. Calling a timeout. Let's see. Timeout called.
32 seconds. They have the chance to score.
Still have a timeout.
So now 3 passes to the end zone.
And
they're running the ball
again. And they get it in. Wow.
Just as we talk about the Saints passing game, they just completely rushed the ball in last couple of minutes there to put themselves up by a couple of touchdowns.
Score 10-21 at the end of the half. The Bills will bring it out. Probably run the clock down, but let's see what they do. 16 seconds, 3 timeouts left.
Looking for another passing attack.
Going long. Oh, they hit number 8.
That should be
field goal range.
But I think
Mark Duper.
Is there time on the clock? That's the question.
I don't think so.
Nope, there wasn't.
Yeah,
so
he needed to get a touchdown.
Yeah, that brings us to the half. Wobbegong, I guess your reaction so far, you're down by 11, but it looked much closer than the scoreline currently, I have to say.
Yeah, it was unfortunate to not get a drive running just before the 2-minute warning. The Buffalo run offense looks good, but passing, just a few great deep passes, but not a reliable weapon so far. The Saints defense is really, really good. And now their offense is not only good in running and passing, but also in running. So far, it looks like the Saints are the better team here. A great passing attack, already 14 passes compared to 5 on the Buffalo side. And rushing, both teams with 15 rushing attempts, Buffalo for 85 yards and the Saints for 61. But so far, they were able to get 3 touchdowns. Buffalo only 1, and that's the key difference today.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. I think, from my perspective, if the Bills will need to slow down the Saints' offense, that's clearly obvious now in terms of that passing game and that rushing game, and hope that they can can eke out some more offensive capability from Stout. I think maybe getting the ball in Stout's hand a little bit more alongside the rushing game might enable them to get some points on the board quite quickly. But Rasp, your takeaways from this one so far?
I kind of have an opposite view on that. I'm thinking that the Bills need to come out firing pretty aggressively, and they need to do something to figure out how to slow down the pass. But when they did try to slow down the pass, it looked like the Saints could run without any issues either. So it's going to be the Buffalo Bills have to have their defense step up, figure out how to get some turnovers, at least stop them from scoring. But then the Buffalo's going to need to put points on the board quicker than the New Orleans. So I think slowing down the pace of the game might be a mistake for Buffalo, but we'll see what they do.
Let's see how the second half plays out.
First drive is very important, would be a key factor for the Bills to get some points already in the first drive and make it a one-possession game again.
Unfortunately for the Bills, the Saints are getting the kickoff at the end of the second half. So let's see where it goes. Oh, sorry, my mistake. It was the Bills that get it. So that's fortunate. Nathan gets a handoff.
Another penalty, and that could be
false start.
Oh, yeah, false start. So not good. 2nd and 12 here, and another rushing attack.
Are they going to hand it to Nathan again? Hopefully not. Let's see.
Yeah, incomplete here.
That was a good defense on the Saints with their secondary, keeping those wide receivers and tight ends contained.
So the Saints here with the statement.
Yeah, I was say interesting. It says Stout was struggling with his reads there, which is interesting. So could mean that he's struggling to find open players to actually get the ball out to.
Another penalty on Buffalo, and that is of course not good. Already the 5th penalty today. That also doesn't help stopping the offense or getting the own offense running.
Oh, good stop by the Bills. Third and 1. They choose to pass it. And why not? Green and Jefferson seem to be those first down makers. Stop by Taylor. Hold him to 0 yards. Getting back to pass.
And another completion. So Buffalo defense needs to force a turnover here, or at least hold the Saints to field goal. Otherwise, it will be a very, very tough challenge for the offense to get back. LT with another
tackle. Yep. It's amazing that the Saints are hitting all of their receivers, and not just for one pass or not, but they're all, looks like it's pretty even when they're when you're looking at it. Green and Jefferson with 5, Bosa with 4.
3rd and 2, and that is another first down.
Yeah, tackle for loss by LT. LT is having a good game of helping keep the run contained as much as he can.
First tackle for loss for the Bills here, if you ignore the sacks.
Nice. Your Don Paris, the defensive end, filling in for Gastineau, gets the tackle. Wide open receiver.
Totally open receiver.
Big third down.
Oh, did he get it?
That could be a first down from what we've seen in the game so far.
Oh, nope. It was a stop. It holds them to a field goal.
It gives the Bills a bit of a lifeline in this one.
Yeah, it's still a 2-touchdown game, but now the offense needs to step up. And as you said, maybe don't run the ball, but try to pass it. They need to score faster. It's already 4 minutes left in the third quarter. The Bills need to answer fast. Otherwise, the game is over earlier than you think. But a sack,
Big
of
sack
course,
there.
doesn't help there.
The linebacker Kaufman brings him down. Second and 20.
Great pass by Stout. Another important tackle by Cromwell. So third and short for the Buffalo Bills. They need to convert that.
Oh,
And that's incomplete.
That was under pressure.
And so another punt.
Yeah. Those doubting about the game and how quarterback pressures comes in, that was an example of one that was calculated based off of a quarterback pressure. Oh, nice pass to tight end Sensor, who's standing in for Christensen. He was one of their biggest weapons, sitting out injured today.
The important tackle. So Bills defense is now able to stop the run a little bit, but still no answer for the Saints passing attack.
Second and 12. Good pass to a running back screen. Chipping away at the clock now.
Yeah, the short passes by the Saints combined with the rushing attacks, of course, take a lot of time off the clock. And so far, no chance by the Bills to stop any of that.
Wide receiver screen.
Yeah, that passing attack has been devastating so far. 262 yards. It's all balanced with every single receiver. I mean, Green's been the one that's been the star out so far, but looks like the Bills haven't had much of an answer to that so far.
Number 83 looked like he jumped open. Jefferson gets the ball. First down.
And that is the end of the third quarter. So no points for the Bills. The Saints defense stepped up, and this could be the deciding factor if the Saints can get away with some points in this drive. I think it will be a little too late to come back for the Bills, even if they are able to get the offense running, which doesn't look so good so far.
It's going to need something very special from the Bills to overturn this one. They need a magical play from someone. Is there someone out there who can give it to them?
Oof. John Jefferson gets it. So not only are they driving down the field, but they were able to be taking a lot of the time off the clock. Nice pass to the running back. They can still get a first down. Second and 2. And it's a touchdown.
Looks like he's in. Stretching the lead out now to a three touchdown game.
Ran based off of their wide receiver, Matt Boza.
And that's now a lot of unanswered points for the Saints. Great performance by them in the Super Bowl. Offense stepped up, and defense also is able to really not only slow down the Buffalo Bills, but completely stop them here in the second half.
Tony Nathan. They are, after the first quarter, they have been able to contain Tony Nathan fairly well, too. Good run. Oh, but could be called back by penalty. Penalty on the defense.
Oh, yeah, this time on the Saints. But yeah, I said the Buffalo Bills need to score quicker. Rushing game does not help them to answer 21 points here. So the play calling definitely needs to change here.
Third and 8. And they choose to run it again. But it works. Get 13 yards with it. But they're eating off time.
Yeah, time is the thing that's against the Bills as well here. They're moving down the field, but it's taken them a long time to get there.
It's interesting. Nathan is really struggling with this. They really keyed on Nathan during this game. Nathan with 15 rushes for 51 yards.
He had 40 plus in the first half, so really struggled this second half.
So we get a sack by Kaufman, but we got a penalty. And
on Buffalo, so
on Buffalo, double whammy.
that should be
out of field goal range.
All down to clock management now for the Saints. 6 minutes left. Can they eat enough of this away to completely put it away?
They choose to throw it to Boza, who was converted to a running back on that last touchdown. So the Saints choose to keep it in the air, regardless on the time on the clock. But they've been very efficient, so it's working for them. Good run by Mitchell.
3.5 minutes, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints can just get the clock down and end the game on offense.
So it looks like the Saints are like that play, the quick screen out of the shotgun. Bills holding the rushing game.
Last 2 minutes of the Super Bowl. Saints look like the deserved winners here. Great performance both on offense and defense. Unstoppable passing game, and the story of Fuller with this incredible performance in the regular season and the playoffs really held true also here in the Super Bowl. He was, for me, the Super Bowl MVP. Only 3 incompletions on 31 passes and over 300 passing yards. Unstoppable. Bills had no answer for that. So he really was the deciding factor here in this game.
Yeah, I have to say, I kind of agree. I think Fuller's distribution in this game has really been exemplary. And, you can see that 28 of 31 is, balanced to different receiver sets and really tore the Bills' defense open in this one and enable them to get themselves a comfortable cushion and to continue to build on that as the Bills' offense continue to kind of struggle a little bit. But as this one winds down, we'll do some reflections at the end. But Saints have been absolutely brilliant in this Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. Fuller definitely would be my MVP as well.
And of course, we can vote for the MVP because we're all on the show, and we've got 3 votes, so 3-0.
We got it.
We'll see if it's the same as the game when it ends, but I'll be surprised if it isn't. To be honest with you,
Bills have no timeout, and we get a sack, huge sack, and there's Cromwell, who we were referring to earlier in the game, putting an exclamation point on it.
Let's see if the Bills can get any sort of consolidation points or something on here. But it looks unlikely given that they are far back on a third down situation.
4th and 20, and they're going for it.
Why not? They might as well. Nothing else to play for.
Oh, was it?
No, I don't think they completed it. Incomplete pass.
Did not get to it. Turnover on down. And I think at this point, the Saints would kneel it down. Yep. And
so that brings us to the end of Super Bowl number 4. Congratulations to the New Orleans Saints and V Gorilla. You are the RFL champion this year. you of course will your award will be in the post, I'm sure, Rasp. No, I'm sure there'll be a medal displayed up on your Discord username. Congratulations. But before we talk about the Saints champions, let's just go straight to Wobbegong. Hard, painful loss, of course it is, being the Super Bowl winner from last year, getting back to here. But yeah, your reflections on the Bills and just coming up a little bit short this year.
Yeah, the defense won us many games, not today. So the defense was really not up for the challenge to stop the Saints' passing attack. Also, way too many penalties. When you think about that in key situations, they were able to throw their way out of it one time. But other than that, costly penalties, defense not really, really good. And as you can see here, Stout only 50% completion percentage. He was really not up for the challenge to play the Saints defense. So deserved in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Fuller was exceptional. If you just go up, Rasp, let's just see who they put down as the offensive and defensive players of the game. Let's just check. I'm sure it's Fuller. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Rasp, let's turn over to you, Commissioner. Your reflections, not only I guess on the Saints and the Bills, but on the RFL season in a whole. Anything you'd like to say to the audience and the general managers who are following along?
Well, as far as the Super Bowl winner, wow. I felt that the Saints had a chance, but man, was I wrong. They really showed up here, and the defense, Fuller had a great day, but their defense also, the entire defense had a really good day of keeping the number one offense from scoring points. I mean, they held them to 10 points. They got to them, sacked them, but they didn't get any turnovers. But they controlled the clock, and I mean, they held Nathan to 3.4 yards, which is really good because he's normally at 5 points. So they really shut him down. Stout with only 50%, 4 sacks. It was just a clinic for the Saints. So congratulations, Big Gorilla. You deserve it. And my condolences to the Bills, but you had a great year. And you have, I guess, I'm not sure if you or Shark should have the reign of who is champion in there. Obviously, Shark won the division, but you were able to show him up in the playoff games as well. So congratulations to both of you guys too. But as for the season, it was a great season. Rewards are coming up. Player award polls will be up in the near future, either tonight or tomorrow. So look for those to come forward so we can see who gets that. And Pro Bowls will also be coming up. And the NFC, as I was the team to lose in the conference, I'm going to hand that over to whoever in the NFC wants to participate for the NFC standpoint. And then next weekend we'll convert it over and we'll move on to 1984. I appreciate everybody staying with the league. It's been a great league, and a lot of you have been your long-time leaguers. So thank you for participating in the league. It really means a lot to me.
Great. Some really good words there, Rasp. I mean, I think, I completely agree with both of you. It's been a phenomenal season for lots of different reasons. We've had some crazy divisional results and performances and really enticing things to watch. We've obviously, as you mentioned, we've got the awards coming up. Where some of those star-studded rookies will kind of end up in the awards is going to be fascinating to see. But, we need to come back to the Super Bowl today and just say congratulations to the Saints. Completely dominated and deserved to win this one. Sorry, Wobbegong, I've got to say that. They completely outplayed the Bills. Steve Fuller needs to hang his hat on on that Lombardi trophy and call it his, because he was just exceptional. And it's not putting away that the Saints defense didn't turn up and play really well, but that Saints offense was exceptional and really efficient and really balanced. And that to me was the deciding factor in this one. So congratulations to New Orleans. The Super Bowl is going back to you guys. You are getting it for a second time, but I'm sure there will be other teams biting at the bit next season to try and bring it back. And I'm sure one of them will be the Buffalo Bills this year. But Rasp, Wobbegong, it's been great to have you both on. Any final reflections from you, either of you? I'll start with Wobbegong, and then we'll leave the end to our commissioner to close us out.
Yeah, I already said it, but congrats, VG. Great season, incredible regular season, and also playoff run. Well-deserved winner here. Better team for sure, better strategy and better plays. So really deserved Super Bowl winner. Congrats to your second ring. Really liked the season. I was surprised that I got back to the Super Bowl. I didn't expect that after a little bit bumpy regular season. So yeah, happy with the result in the end. A deserved winner in New Orleans Saints. So enjoy the victory.
Yep. Congratulations again to you, V Gorilla, and to the New Orleans Saints. Well fought. And again, thank you to everyone who's in the league. I appreciate that you have participated with the league, and hopefully you have enjoyed it. We will look forward to our 1984 season, and I'll publish this shortly after the stream ends.